like a hot minute or 2 weeks.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. It definitely has been 2 weeks. Feels like a lot longer because I've been itching to get into some D&D. So, yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, just no D&D after so much D&D.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I just finished another session right in time, so ready to go.
I was gonna say Ditton has no problem with. There's no dearth of D&D in Ditton's life.
I've never had so much trouble trying to understand what people were saying as I did in that session.
Oh no.
Just so many accents.
What, in the game that you just played?
Yeah.
How brave of them.
Oh no, like that's just like their natural.
Oh, they just draw from all.
Yeah.
I guess that works. Natural accents.
Yeah, and then one person's like made their character sound like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, so that was a bit of a
I
trick.
mean, that's great, but also, I mean, are any of them like from not, like around here? But like, do any of them pretend to have like an American accent or anything? I always think that would be really funny for people who don't have American accents to then have an American accent, because you just don't really see that in like roleplay stuff.
Yeah, no, none of that. It was basically just listening to South African accents, and
That one is an interesting one.
yeah,
There were a lot of South Africans in South Korea, and like, it's such an interesting accent. It feels like 4 different accents, all wearing a trench coat.
yeah. It's like, are you Australian or British
Yeah.
or what is this?
It's a lot of everything.
There's an Australian comedian that I really like that has a really horrible joke about the South African accent that I won't repeat here.
That's fair, but it's probably probably I can understand. But are we all here?
Just need a barrel.
We always need a barrel. Barrel of laughs. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think Barrel's just finishing a League of Legends game. I might go ahead and do the recap, though, so that we can just get it out of the way and we're not waiting.
Sounds fine. I guess I should roll into the actual game. I'm just gonna sit here quietly and not talk and eat my sandwich so that you guys don't have food ASMR.
That sounds good to me.
Appreciate it.
I know some people might be into that. No judges, but we don't need that right now.
Clean judgment.
Fair.
All right, well, since it's been 2 weeks, let's just go through the recap. I'll go through it kind of slow, and we can all kind of have our memories sparked on different things that happened. So the group last session, they started off interrogating the Duergar. They continued to from the previous session after capturing them. And they learned that the Duergar came from the mountains. They said they had come from the mountains and met a drow on the way who provided them with the carriage. And they learned that the Duergar are priests of Torog. And they also learned a little bit about blue spore bread after Five had some unique questions for the Duergar. That brought up the topic of chili, and Globuk traded some chili spice with the Duergar, who gave him some blue cap mushrooms. And those were the mushrooms that are actually used to make that spore bread. And after that, the group then discussed a little bit about what the Duergar had said in relation to the Empire, and the fact that the Empire has been expanding in the Underdark with mining operations. And Ilyana explained that she knew a bit about the Underdark also because she was from the Underdark, and that the Duergar sometimes were used as slaves, and that her family actually owned slaves. And that was one of the reasons, I believe she said, that she wanted to get away. And then Ilyana, your cat ran away as you guys were all thinking of names for it. And we learned a little bit about Jojo's age. Apparently Jojo's quite old for a mouse. After that the Duergar left, and the group investigated the temple where the fight had happened. And eventually you guys found a door that was underwater, and Ilyana, using her mage hand Ledgerman, was able to pick the lock with Nat 20, and the group was able to enter the underground lair. They found out that there was a warning sign there that explained it was a mine that had been owned by the Empire, and it kind of warned people to stay out because the mine was dangerous and there was subject to cave-ins and it was deadly. But the group decided to proceed deeper in, finding out a little bit about the beetles, and eventually they found the cages where the beetles were being kept. And upon investigation, they awoke the fire beetle queen and fought her off bravely to defeat her. And after the encounter, the group decided to leave the dangerous mine and head back to Die Shield with all of this newfound information and newfound... yeah, that's about it. On the way back, the group encountered a halfling on the road that was broken down by a carriage. She explained her name was Kithri and the carriage was damaged, and she asked the group for a gem, which she said she could use to enchant with the necessary magic to make her carriage move again. You noticed that the carriage didn't have a horse drawing it. It was drawn by magic. But since the group was unable to help her directly, they decided to tow her carriage along and protect Kithri until the crossroads between Die Shield and Dragon's Keep, where they would be separating the day next. And on the way, Kithri explained that she was following the Heart of Dragons, the bardic band that the group had met earlier, and eventually, the group arrived at the crossroads around sunset time with Kithri, and that was where the session had ended. And that must be Beryl, who just turned in.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How'd the game turn out? I think it said you were in League of Legends. I was like, ooh, I wonder how it turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you win, or did you have to surrender?
Won, surprisingly. I don't know how.
Hey, sometimes you get lucky, right?
Yeah, better than Mad Lions did today. Anyway.
Oh my god. And you know what? I just knew Dom1 was going to win it all. I have them picked to win it all. That's my guess anyways, but enough about League of Legends and what's going on in the pro esports. Beryl, we just finished, because I do love that game, but we just finished our session recap. Yeah, just talking about how we interrogated the Durgar a bit more, how we went down into the mine, fought the fire beetle queen. I wanted to call her a fire bean for some reason. Anyways, and then we decided to leave and go back to Die Shield. And yeah, we met Kithri on the way, got to the crossroads where she's going to go to Dragon's Keep to follow the Heart of Dragons, the band that we had met earlier, and we are going to go eastward towards Die Shield. All right, any questions? Anything you guys want to start talking about? I don't know, anything you guys want to recap?
Remember that time that I almost died?
Which one?
That happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Major one. Okay, I was, I got a little close a couple of times, but I didn't jump into a well full of paralyzing water.
Oh yeah, I skipped the water part. Yeah, I guess you potentially all could have died there. I was like, when you're fighting the fire bean queen or bean, oh my god, fire beetle queen.
It's a fire bean now. Like that is now canon.
Yeah, I've said it. It's fire. It's a fire bean. Yeah, I guess I did breeze over the poison water.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of a major character moment for me. Stupidity. Also, it was nice of you not to mention the fact that we just had a giant blue sapphire that we forgot to bring with us.
Yeah, I didn't want to actually.
I know, right?
I was like, I'll breeze over that.
Giant sapphire we just left on the floor ostensibly.
And I mean, there was a few other doors that were in that mine, but anyways, you could have found more. Who knows? That's still a mystery for sure. But yeah, I didn't want to recall that moment.
That sapphire is part of a historical site, and we're above looting and pillaging this ancient heritage site.
There you go.
Yeah, that was it.
And you all respect the Empire enough not to steal.
It's just Liana has a really bad memory.
Some of us are good, and some of us are just stupid.
Yeah.
Whoa. We're all stupid. Also good.
That's a good point.
dropped the epic picture of a fire bean.
I was gonna go check that out. Let's go check that out right now.
The most difficult battle.
Oh, that's
Yep,
spicy.
that was it.
That's a
That's how I
spicy
remember
fire
it.
bean. Good artist's rendition of that moment. I'll have to put that one up, in the... Maybe we can redraw it too. Five can give us like a really nice
Yeah.
one. Anyways.
Of the of the fire bean.
Yeah, exactly. Give us like a really artsy rendition of the fire bean.
It was a pretty good fight, I think. Although we kind of soundly whooped its ass.
Yep, yeah, you guys have been doing pretty well. Yeah, and now it seems we might even get back to Die Shield today. But we'll see how it goes.
There's no way
Wow.
Die Shield is still standing.
Don't jinx us.
It's been overrun by beans.
It took us 5 days to get here. It can't take us 5 days to get back.
We're just gonna roll like a 1 twice in a row on the weather checks and get stuck forever.
I was gonna say, this is the place we were stuck for like 2 days before.
It is. Just 2 more days of Globuk is gonna start learning how to knit. Like we're all just gonna go stir crazy.
Then you can knit some stuff for JoJo, because you guys were talking about that last time.
Oh my god, yeah.
Globuk
Globuk learn how
mouse
to knit.
sweater. Mouse mittens.
Oh, that would be so cute. For a little paws.
Gonna need it if we get to winter eventually.
So I just looked up on how to create an emoji on Discord, and I just copied and pasted what it said. Yeah, so apparently we can make our own barrel emoji.
Oh
Nice.
no.
I've seen
I
this.
think there's some real potential here with this idea. Yes, I think so.
All right, well, I'm definitely going to spend some time on that. That's been on my list, too, to make some stuff for the Discord, so that's dope. Good job.
No.
Super cool.
I'm going to make one that just says Pound Town.
Yes! Bow down.
All right, so I guess I'll explain the situation now as we roll into the crossroads here. The sun is setting, and, we've detached Kithri's carriage over here. She's gone ahead and kind of moved it off the road, and you guys have moved yours off the road. And yeah, the sun's about setting, and you spent most of the day traveling after you left the mine to get here. And yeah, we can all pick it up here. And I'll let you guys kind of kick off today's session. As you see Kithri out here, she's just kind of getting all her stuff ready to get ready for the night. And Atala's kind of jumped off the wagon over to the side, and she's going ahead to deal with Argo and Trigger, the horses up front.
I'm gonna head over to Kithri and ask her. So, do you have a plan for how you're gonna get to Dragon Keep after this?
No, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get there. I'm hoping some traveler will come along and help me out, maybe tow me all the way. This is a pretty well-traveled road to Dragon's Keep, so if somebody doesn't come tonight, then I'll wait here for the next day or two.
If you want, you could come with us to Die Shield and get a horse there and then head out.
Oh yes, I guess I could potentially do that and maybe meet up with the Heart of Dragons at Kandathan for their show a day henceforth, but I'm worried that I might miss them and then I would have to wait in Die Shield. I think I'll roll my dice and see if I can still catch them tomorrow in Dragon's Keep if I find someone going there.
Alright, well, as long as you think that's the best choice.
Yeah, I think it is, but Gwen, I was wondering, could you maybe give me a place to stay in Die Shield when we're there?
I can try. I don't really have much of a place to stay there either. I was only there for a day.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll be arriving in about 3 days henceforth with the Heart of Dragons and all of the fans. And, well, if you're still in town, maybe I could find you somewhere?
Yeah. It'd probably be best to talk to Five about that. They're actually from Die Shield.
Oh,
So
okay.
They would know more about arrangements we could make.
5. She'll like call over to you, 5.
And do you remember the last time we were here and there were zombies? Huh? What? Oh, what? Yeah. What's up, Gwen?
Yeah, what are you and Globuk up to over there while we were chatting?
Just talking about how the last time we were here there were zombies.
I was thinking about starting a fire or something,
And
cooking some
that.
dinner.
Oh yes, please do that. I could eat an
That
owlbear. But not yours though.
Thanks. No eat forge.
What's up, Gwen?
Kithri and I were just talking about how she's going to be in Dice Shield in a few days, and she was trying to figure out like sleeping arrangements, and I figured that you'd be a better person to try to talk to that about than I would. You know the
Oh.
city better.
Hi, nice to meet you. Sorry, I was sleeping earlier apparently when you came with us, but nice to meet you. I'm 5.
Oh, I'm Kithri. Yes, I was broken down on the side of the road, and your group here was nice enough to carry me along.
Yeah, we do that a lot. But yeah, you need to find some place to stay in Dice Shield?
Yeah, we're going to be arriving with the Heart of Dragons, the band. Apparently you met them already, but we'll be arriving in about 3 days henceforth to for the show, and well, I need a place to stay after the show.
Oh yeah, sure. DM question. The Night Owls, is that just a bar or is it also like a tap, like an inn?
It's mostly just a bar. So yeah, it is just a bar. And it's like kind of in a basement too. So you wouldn't recommend there. But you know about a place called the Red Bark Inn, and they serve they serve a bit of like drink and food too, but they also have lodging.
Okay, yeah, I remember them from the beginning of the thing. I just also wasn't sure if they were a thing. Okay.
Yep.
One sec. Let me just. I definitely should know the name of the guy who runs it.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can look him up. Sibo Pak. I don't know if I've even shown you him. Yeah, I don't expect you to remember this right now, so that's why I'm giving it to you like really easily. But yeah, his name is
there he
Sibo Pak, and okay, yeah, if he's there, cool, yeah. He's the owner of the Red Bark Inn, and that's where most of the travelers stay in Die Shield, if they don't have a place to stay.
Isn't
Okay,
he the
cool.
guy that made that like specialty beer that they had?
He is.
Yeah, that's the guy, yeah.
Yeah, I think you told him or told us about him back then, but like we hadn't met him or anything.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, you guys haven't been there yet, so I didn't quite remember how much you knew about him either.
Okay, well, I can totally recommend, you want to look for this place called the Red Bark Inn. Is it red?
Yeah, it's actually, so the outside of it is also adorned in that kind of red, kind of cedar wood type looking cabin kind of style siding.
Isn't that one that's kind of outside of town?
Yeah, and it's on the outside of town at the west entrance. Yeah, it's a green building on the map.
Okay, all right, I remember. It's red. It's like outside of the western entrance. You can't miss it. It's very, emblematic of Dice Shield. But the owner is a guy named Sibo Pak. Anyway, you can totally stay there, or if they're all full up for some reason, I don't know why they would be, but you can totally just go find the Monastery of Lost Souls, and they'll put you up for a couple of days. Just tell them that 5 sent you.
Oh, wonderful. This monastery, it sounds very nice, actually. Yes, and I'm not sure how we'll fare in Die Shield. The Heart of Dragons has many fans. We kind of travel in a big pack. And, well, hopefully Sibo will be ready to receive everyone when they arrive. But if not, I'll be sure to take a few of my friends to see this Monastery of Lost Souls. And I'll tell them 5 sent me.
Yeah, just ask for Master Joe. She'll set you up.
Awesome. Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, 5.
Sure, no problem. Hopefully we'll be back soon. And then maybe I can tell them that you're coming myself if there's no more hurricanes.
Oh, yes, hopefully. I've noticed it's been a bit rainy around here these days.
Yeah, this spring weather is just really unpredictable.
Yes, well, hopefully it clears up for our adventures. What was that, Gwen?
I was just saying you can blame her. That little guy over there. Pretty cool.
Huh.
He keeps performing dances from books with languages he can't read. I think it has something to do with demons. I don't know.
Grigor will
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
it
just
made
laugh
zombie
and
growl.
roll his eyes. Okay, well, that sounds great. So for tonight, I was wondering who would want to be on watch and what we're all going to do about supper.
I don't mind taking watch first, at least. I slept a lot of the day, so I'm pretty awake right now.
Okay, wonderful. Well, let's go talk to your group here and see maybe who all wants to take watch.
I'll take the second shift.
Cool.
Kithri
I'll
will
take third if no one else wants.
Yeah, night crew.
This could be the first night ever that Ileana's not on watch.
Huh?
Although actually,
Do I hear that?
Yeah, I would say we're all kind of like talking out loud enough to each other. But in the meantime, while they were kind of discussing that, were you wanting to talk to Atala quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. So yeah, let's go ahead and say, like, before they kind of get there and, you know, kind of shout over to you like, hey, this will be the first time Ilyana's not on watch. Go ahead and say what you're going to say to Atala.
So, how did you, like, where did you learn to, like, basically control the horses and drive them? I've always kind of wanted to know, but I haven't really figured that one out yet.
Oh, well, I was once part of the Empire, as you already know, and it was part of my land vehicles training to deal with the animals. It was actually one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to leave, because they were so cruel to the animals sometimes. And anyways, I learned a lot about how to put the tack on and all the different saddles in the reins and how to, you know, hook them up. It was something that the Empire was very good at teaching, actually. They had many horses and very, very nice gear, so I learned to ride horses quite well as well, and also drive them in carriage.
Do you know where I might learn something like that?
Well, you could learn it a little bit from someone who could teach you. Maybe you could even buy a horse of your own, and maybe somebody could teach you along the way while you travel and through your adventures.
Yes, that does sound like a good idea. I'll have to think on that.
Yes, once we get back to Die Shield, I'm not sure if you're all going to stay together, but if you are, you might need your own carriage, and then somebody's going to have to drive it, if I'm not around.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really not that hard once you learn a little bit about the horses. The main thing is to treat them like they have a personality of their own. She kind of goes over and like taps one of them on the mane.
Ileana's just kind of like standing there, just kind of like pondering the horse, and she's just kind of like, how do you find out their personality? Like, I've always been able to figure it out for cats and spiders, but horses are so big. How do you figure out their expressions?
Well, I think it's something like you do with humans. You just have to spend a lot of time with them. The more time you spend with them, the more you see the way they differ. Like, here, Trigger, and she kind of goes over to the one on the right. and pats him a little bit. She's like, he likes carrots, and Argo, he likes apples, and that's just something that I've learned through the days. It's not something I would have been able to figure out if I didn't have apples or carrots to give him, but through time you learn all the different quirks about your animals.
I'll have to ask Five if they know where I can find somewhere to buy a horse, I guess. Huh.
Oh, I'm sure there's a stable in Die Shield that'll help you out. Some of the farmers outside town usually have different animals that they're willing to get rid of. Sometimes it's better even to get an older horse, as they're a little less energetic and easier to deal with.
That's fair. Ileana just kind of looks up as Five, like the group of people on the other side are like kind of coming back a bit. And she's just kind of like, Five, I have questions for you about horses.
And I have questions for the DM about horses. Mostly about if there's like a stable or something in Die Shield.
Yeah, there's not one in Die Shield, but there's plenty of stables around Die Shield and outside of Die Shield on the various farms. So yeah, you know that farmers have a lot of different animals, but you've never really, like, there's no interior stables, but you've seen them outside of Die Shield.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Ileana, what's up?
Do you know if Die Shield has a place where I could buy a horse? And like Ileana's just looking really confused the whole time, like, how do?
Are you sure you want one? You're looking a little like you're confused.
I would like one, because if we're going to continue after we get back to Die Shield and tell the Reeve everything, it's going to be kind of crappy to have to walk everywhere.
Five's face just kind of brightens at the mention of, people wanting to continue hanging out after this adventure is done. But, it's like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, there's totally, farms around Die Shield where you can get horses. I've never actually, owned a horse myself, but the monastery used them for a couple of things sometimes. And so, I really like horses.
I wonder if there's a place where we can find already trained horses to, who lead carriages and whatnot, versus, just a horse used to, like, I guess, riding or something. I don't know. Huh.
I bet it would be really a good idea to talk to Anders, because, since he makes carriages and stuff and fixes them, I bet he knows some people who deal in, like, carriage horses.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Do you have any idea how much a horse is?
No. Probably expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Bill's
thinking
heads
too. I'm like,
questionably like, I mean, horses probably, I don't know how expensive they are, but I feel like a carriage, and like Five looks back at the one that they've been using that, is the Reeves carriage, is like,
yeah.
I feel like a carriage is probably very expensive. But maybe Anders has something, that's like broken that we can use or something.
Yeah. I'll have to use my charming skills, I guess.
But yeah, I like that idea. And Five kind of like pets the horses who she has been enamored with the entire trip. Gives Argo a little scritch on the ear.
It kind of brustles and like tosses its head back as it whinnies and neighs.
Yeah, who's a good horse? You guys are good horses.
Kind of like snuffs, and then like a little bit of like nose snottiness like lands on you.
Yeah. Five just sort of makes a similar gesture in reply. It doesn't particularly mind that it's not.
Ileana's got like a look of it's like part disgust but mostly shock that snot comes out of their noses like that. 'Cause, again, deals with, cats and spiders.
Hey, cats can get pretty snotty.
Yes, but not usually the ones she deals with.
Yeah, Jojo really likes the horses too, don't you, Jojo? And the mouse is sitting on my shoulder and just kind of blinks.
It's gonna make us all jump back one day if Jojo ever answers you.
Yes, that would be surprising, wouldn't it? Hey, Globuk, is dinner ready? Globuk, I'm hungry. Globuk.
Oh, who want beetle legs? We got plenty of beetle legs again.
Oh, you know I do. Can you make me 2? I'm starving.
Okay. Is there anybody that don't want beetle leg?
Ileana just kind of slowly raises her hand. She's like, do we have anything else that's cookable?
I have these mushrooms that I got from Duerkar.
We have to turn those into blue spore bread or whatever.
Oh, okay, we can do that maybe.
Can you make bread here?
I don't know if I could make bread at fire.
Well,
Anybody
now or
else
later.
got foods?
Atala will speak up. She'll be like, Ileana, if you want, I can go find something from around here. It'll probably just be like plants or maybe, if I'm lucky, some small game.
Yeah, that'd be appreciated.
All right.
Are we gonna make another foraging check? We have sucked at these every single time.
Yep, I was going to do that actually. I think
We've tried no less than 3 times to find food from the wild and sucked every single time.
yeah, let's see how Atala can do here. She's just gonna use her herbalism kit. I think Globuk can help too, but he's busy cooking right now, so.
I mean, I'll help. I would love to find something edible out of the woods at some point.
Okay, so you can go along with her as you tail along as she's rummaging through some nearby bushes and some different areas. You can kind of go along beside her and keep an eye out, giving her advantage.
I'll try.
Oh, there we go. Definitely finding some stuff. All right, so as she kind of comes over to these cliffs here, she finds some plants here, and they've got these kind of plantain type of banana-like structures coming out of them. And she's like, oh, here we go. And she kind of grabs a bunch of them, 8 of them up. Actually, let's see how many. Oh, 4. All right, so another beast has gotten to this tree, it seems, and a few of them have been chomped out. But she's like, oh, here, 5, do you see this? And she kind of points to the tree. She says, yes, some animals eat these. These are wild bananas, but they're not very sweet, actually. They mostly just have a bunch of starches. They're a good survival food, though. But if you fry them up and you have some spices, they just take on the flavor of basically whatever you put in the pan. Here, let's get these back to Globuk, and we'll see what he can do with them.
5's just earnestly looking at Atala I will eat anything.
All right, here. Globuk, we found something! Ileana, come check this! And she kind of comes over to you, Ileana. She's like, is this fine? These are some wild plantains. They should taste good if Globuk can cook them well.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh yeah,
All right.
those should fry up good.
Let's see here. Globuk, all right, here. Globuk, take these. Have you ever tried cooking these?
No, but cook something similar before. I think if you fry them, they cut up fried, they've been good.
Yeah, exactly. They're like a potato or something almost. Yeah, or you can make like a chip out of them. Here, I'll give them to you, and you can go ahead and try and make some for us, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't overwhelm you. Alright, we could do some cooking checks. I'll get 2 separate ones to see how each of the items come out.
Cool.
Oh, alright, well that's the beetle legs. Unfortunately, something goes wrong with the beetle legs, but
Might
keep
have burned
going.
those bad boys.
Yeah, well, I might have something even in store for that. Oh, but the plantains turn out really well. All right, Globuk, as you start cooking up the beetle legs, you notice that something about them aren't quite right. Interiorly, they're like breaking down, and their flesh is turning a weird blue color. It seems that the heat and like the way you're cooking them is like breaking them down, but you're not exactly sure what's going on with them. However, the plantains cook up really well, and at this point, we'll get everybody to kind of roll a perception to see if we can glean what's happening to these beetle legs. But your plantains look wonderful.
Perception?
Yeah. As the sun is starting to go down and most of the light is coming now off of the firelight, and there's a couple lanterns also on the Reeves' nice big carriage that give off quite a bit of light around you guys. All right, Globuk, you don't notice, as you have been really, really distracted with this whole process, really just trying to make the plantains really good. You don't notice the bluish hue as you're cooking them. And you start handing them out to people. All right, where are we at here? Everybody who's eating them. All right, we'll go with Gwen. Yeah, so Gwen, you, are you going to partake in eating of the beetle legs? Or were you on the list of people who were going to eat it, essentially?
I haven't said no or yes, so I assume that just defaults to yes.
Yeah, because he asked if anybody was not going to eat beetle legs, and you didn't speak up. So at this point, you bite into one of the beetle legs while everybody else is kind of eyeing them up. Five and Ilyana, you're kind of looking at it, and it's like, okay, weird. And as you notice that, Five and Ilyana, you see the bluish hue, and you're like, oh, that's what that is. And you notice that these have been spoiled by some sort of parasite. And you can see these like bluish little worms eating through the flesh. Gwen, I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution save, and now Ilyana and Five, you can look around. Oh, I guess Globuk too, because you're eating them too as you start to eat them. Everybody who's gonna start to eat them and didn't pass the Perception save, which is right now just Gwen and Globuk, go ahead and roll those cons. I'm going to roll some of the characters too, because Atala, we're going to have to see if they do it, Grigor and Kithri.
Globuk just poisoned everybody.
Actually, I don't think Kithri will eat it, because she just like thinks you guys are weird. This is kind of weird. So just Atala. Okay, Tala passes, so she notices it, and Grigor, let's see how he does. He fails too, so I'll give him a con, and we'll see how he comes out. All right, he's definitely failing that. Oh, Beryl, you're joining in too. All right, so Beryl, yeah, you don't notice it either. Okay. Looks like who's gonna fail the con saves then? Just Gwen, and Beryl passes, and Grigor. Okay, perfect. All right, so Gwen, Grigor, you guys start to notice a little weird feeling inside of you as you guys are all eating this, but I'll let everybody else kind of talk about it first, because Atala looks at this and she says, Grigor, did you notice that something looks odd about this? There seems to be something inside the meat.
Yeah, Five was like, had one in each hand and then was just kind of like looking at it like, I've had these like 3 times now, and I don't remember the blue bugs being part of it.
Oh my god, there's something wrong with this. There's definitely something wrong with this.
Oh, just a little extra protein.
Did yours taste weird at all, Globuk?
Oh, I mean, little squirmy, but you know, I'm okay.
That seemed fine to me.
Grigor starts to curdle over. He's like, "Oh wait, what? What was in this?"
Strong orc stomach.
He's like, "Oh no, this is making me nauseous. What the? Oh, what is in this? This little worms."
Somebody hold his hair.
What about you, Gwen? Are you okay? You're also looking a little green. That's not a normal human color, right?
Hey, I resemble that.
Okay.
Inspiration. If you don't have it, that's inspiration.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Good job. Yeah, Gwen, at this point you're starting to feel a little bit nauseous. You guys aren't sure exactly what's going on yet, and I'm not going to apply the status marker yet, but you guys are starting to feel nauseous. I'm looking through some different poisons that I want to maybe thinking about which ones I want to apply to you.
Looking through some different things.
I-
Everyone's favorite thing from DM.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Do you need someone to hold your hair? I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't think I'm capable of responding right now.
Oh no, poor Gwen.
Okay, all right, I like this one.
I'll go with her.
All right. You are unable to rest, and you gain 1 level of exhaustion as the nauseousness, and it's like you have food poisoning essentially. So this food poisoning is going to keep both Grigor and Gwen up through the night. They won't be able to rest, and they get their first level of exhaustion, which I am going to put as green.
Ooh,
Somewhere I
exhaustion.
can add that on the character sheet. Or...
I do sometimes get people to build it out as a resource where you would have, you know, I think you're like channel divinities and all that, where you count the other things. You could put a counter for exhaustion levels. Also, there is a leveling status effect. So if, let's say, you get to level 3, I can show you on your character now. Boom, there it says there's a little red 3 on the green dot now if you zoom in really, really far. And that'll indicate how many levels of exhaustion you have. For now, it'll just be 1. I guess I could put a 1 probably. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, there's a 1. There.
Oh, I figured out how to add to the sheet too.
Perfect. Yeah, it's nice to have it in both places too. Just if you are looking at your sheet a lot too, then it's right there.
So it tells me what it actually does. So that's great.
I think just
Plantain things. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say the plantain things were fine, right?
Yeah, those
yeah,
look
they were
fine.
All right. Yeah. Ileana's just gonna be like happily munching on the plantains.
sometimes it pays to not be, you know, terribly adventurous in your cooking. But you're just lucky because the dice favored you.
Well, that and she didn't like the beetle eggs to begin with.
That is true. That is fair.
Tala kind of looks at Grigor and she's like, "Oh, Grigor, I don't know if I can help you today. I think I've already used all my spells." And she kind of like tries to summon up a little bit of energy as she like goes into herself. And then she's like, "Yes, unfortunately, Gwen and Grigor, I'm not going to be able to help you with your diseases or poisons, whatever has happened here. We'll have to wait till the morning till I can have enough energy to help you." And Grigor kind of just moans.
Could I do like a check to see if, like, I realize that it's just like food poisoning versus like they're gonna die like soon or something?
For sure, yeah. You can all engage in medicine checks. As Grigor kind of looks up and he's like, "Am I gonna be all right?" Oh, Atala knows exactly what it is. She looks over and she says, "Yes, I've seen these worms before. Essentially, they'll make you very sick for about a day, and then at some point you'll either pass it, through your mouth orally or through your behind. And once that's happened, you should clear up and your body will be able to fix it. It's about 24 hours that you'll be inflicted, though. But if you just wait for the morning, I just need a rest, and then I'll be able to deal with it first thing in the morning. So unfortunately, you'll have to deal with it for 8 hours. But then I can deal with you."
Yeah, just some food poisoning. It won't be fun, but, you'll live. Five says as she tries to sort of consolingly pat Gwen on the shoulder, the back, I don't know, whatever part is not throwing up or otherwise.
Maybe we should set up a tent for them or something and give them a good space to lay out if we want.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I'll help. I'm getting really good at tents.
All right.
Oh, look how true.
I'm just going to say at this point, you guys are proficient in setting up a tent. It's no longer Five's first time.
I've become proficient in tent putting up.
There you go. Reliable talent in just that.
I didn't even have to pay 10 gold a day for 250 days or whatever.
Exactly. It's just like it's just like the rogue skill called reliable talent, where eventually you just become so good at things that you just pass basically. Anyways, and she Tala, after helping you guys set up the tent over here, she's gonna put Grigor in it and lay him down. Gwen, do you want to come in as well?
Do you think you're good? Do you need help? I can carry you.
Oh no, she's getting all dirty.
You go on. Finish eating. I'll agree. I'll be okay.
All right. If you want to stay over here, we can let you be.
Yeah, but just call me if you need anything. I'm really good at carrying. I think your mic cut out a little bit if you said something I didn't hear it, sorry.
Very hard to try to get it to pick up on all the pretend vomit noises.
Oh, okay, well, maybe that's for the best.
Yeah. You try some real ones, but that would take a bit of work.
Some Foley work. What are you doing, Ileana?
I was trying to click on it to read it, and I'm like, oops.
Oh, that happens. Yeah, I've done that one before. So, while kind of Gwen's over here, in her own space, Atala's gonna look around the campfire and she's gonna be like, "Well, it seems Gwen and Grigor won't be helping us on watch tonight, so I can help. And I know Globuk and Five, you said you could take a shift. Ilyana, I think earlier we talked about it, but we maybe just forgot. But did you want to take a break tonight?"
Is there enough people for me to be able to take a break?
So far we have 3 of them. Potentially Kithri could or Beryl could. Those are the other 2 that potentially could.
I think we're fine, but, maybe having people go in groups wouldn't be so bad, because then one person could kind of keep an eye on the sick people, and then a person could keep an eye on everything else.
That makes sense. All right. Well, who wants to stay up for the first shift?
I can still go for first shift. Gwen, you should rest. Just stop. You focus on. You're good. You're fine.
Well, I guess it's true, Gwen. You could watch.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So who's on
Okay,
first shift?
I will be first.
All right, and then someone maybe should stay with Gwen. So I'll watch on shift with Gwen for second, and then Globuk, you can take third,
I'll
right?
take third. Yeah, third.
All right, and maybe our friend Kithri here. Kithri, could you take a shift? And she's like, "Yep, I can take a shift for sure."
Okay, yeah, you can, with either first with me or last with Globuk.
Oh,
We're
I'll
both
be
cool.
going last, I think.
Ileana, you want to take first shift with me? Gives a very winsome, toothy smile.
Ileana just kind of like smiles and she's like, yes, fine.
Yay! We can
Twist
have,
my arm, why don't you?
we can have, girl talk.
Yeah, you two can talk more about hanging out with that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy who, I don't know. You were gonna hang out with him. Yeah, the guy from the band.
And Ileana just laughs and she's like, sure.
Oh, and sorry everybody. Normally I better cook. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know if meat just go bad or my fault. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. We've had your, cooking, and I know that you're a good cook. Sometimes people just have an off day, and sometimes you climb into a thing of water and then you get poisoned and people have to save you. It's not always a good day.
That's true, Five. That's very true.
I'm starting to find that out more.
I'm so sorry, Gwen.
All right, well, I'm going
But-
to bed. That's Atala. So, I'm gonna just tuck away for now, and make sure to wake me, for second shift 5.
Yep, no problem.
And Kithri's gonna say, yes, and I'll head over to my carriage over here, and, wake me when it's the last shift.
Yeah,
Good night.
I'm gonna clean up and go sleep.
Okay, I'll help you. And Five and Globuk, I guess, do some dishes. Is there water anywhere that we can is there?
Everybody has their own little, I guess, water skin, I believe, if you have it in the inventory. I'd say you'd have it just part of your adventuring gear. Yeah, and then, I mean, there's not really water around, so you'd have to either create water or, those kinds of spells.
Okay, so we're just kind of
Using
Just-
the water out of the water skin.
mine doesn't have any. Mine's full of poison.
Oh yeah. We'll just use mine.
Okay. Well, Five will help you clean up. Whether or not they're super helpful is anyone's guess, but they're
I just-
enthusiastic.
I just pictured Five forgetting about the poison and washing the dishes with the poison that they have.
Yeah, that's what happened last time. No.
It just has poison written on it. Do not eat poison. Do not drink poison. Giant skull and crossbones on it. Yeah, the S's are backwards. I'm only 15. What do you want from me?
Good night, Five.
Good night, Globuk.
Good everybody.
Night.
Night.
Oh, Gwen, are you, do you want me to carry you to the tent yet? Are you okay?
Hey. I think I'm gonna stay out here.
You just want to sleep against that tree? Are you sure?
I don't want to move.
Five goes and, grabs, do we have blankets?
Yeah, I'd say they're part of your bedroll.
Okay, alright. Five takes a blanket from the bedroll over and just kind of puts it around Gwen. So tries to tuck her in against the tree. There you go. Pat, pat. Hope you sleep okay.
I hope so too.
And then 5 will position themselves at the fire.
I just imagine that Gwen's gonna like nod off for like 2 minutes, wake up, like vomit off to the side, and then sit there for another half hour and repeat the whole night.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, sounds fun.
I'm like basically awake this whole time, just dying slowly.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, that would explain the exhaustion point, though.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna be like a lookout, but you'll have disadvantage on it. So yeah, let's go ahead. Grieger is gonna be in the tent, kind of trying to sleep, but he's gonna be in the same condition as you, but he's not looking out. But I'll give you a perception check, all 3 of you then, 5, Ilyana, and Gwen, as you guys hang around the fire for your watch.
I think I've rolled 3 18s. Like an 18 kick.
Okay. All right. Well, 5. You notice that later in the night, you hear some travelers through the sounds of the forest and stuff. You're not exactly sure where they are, but eventually the sounds kind of dissipate, and it seems they're going the opposite way. Yeah, this part of the watch goes very smoothly. And if you guys want to RP some stuff while you guys are hanging out around the fire, you and Ilyana for your girl time, feel free to go ahead, and then we'll move to the next watch.
So, Gwen made it
Blaze it
seem
quick.
like you did really like that guy, I guess.
I mean, yeah, he was cute. But, yeah, we were talking some adult things when we said that I was gonna go hang out with him.
Like gambling.
More adult.
Hey, Ilyana. Have you ever dated anyone before?
A while ago. It didn't really end very nicely.
I think Gwen's trying to say something to you.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm literally just gonna throw up, like right at that point.
Oh, I think that was breakfast yesterday. Anyway.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember that one time, Errol broke up with somebody, and she was really upset for a while.
Yeah, the person I was dating, they were of the same mindset of my family, and, you know, a little refresher, my family owns slaves, so, you know, it wasn't meant to be.
I was actually gonna ask about that, but I was gonna probably talk around it, like, bring it up kind of tactfully, so I'm glad you already brought it up.
Yeah, it's all good. My family is nothing spectacular, so I don't really care about talking about them much. But, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I guess I just wondered if you were okay. How long have you been on your own?
Is everybody okay? The heck was that?
I hear a mic open, yeah. Oh, Globuk, I can hear your mic open, bud. I got him muted for a sec. I'll bring him back in a sec. You can keep going.
Okay.
Okay. It's all good. I was like, are you wrestling with something?
An alligator.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Well, it's probably been just under a year now. Yeah. I guess I'm all right. Like, I don't really miss the family much, really.
That's fair. I just, I remember being on my own, and sometimes it just felt really scary. So I guess, I know that you left for a really good reason, but I'm sorry that you just had to wander around by yourself.
I've made some friends along the way, but yeah, for the most part, usually I'm best doing. Sorry.
This is a cacophony of sounds.
Okay, so to recap here, somebody's vacuuming in the hallway, and I'm in an apartment building, and my cat decided to start attacking my vacuum, thinking it was the one making that noise. So all I could hear was just smack, smack.
I was
That's
gonna
what
say
that
the cat
was?
has some force behind that because I could hear that.
Yeah, that was
there
funny.
like-
You got a beefy cat.
He's 9 pounds and he's
No.
only a year old.
Oh, he's just whiling.
He was really going at it. I was like, what the hell is that? And I turned around, I'm like, oh.
Just take that, all vacuum cleaners.
He's never attacked it before either,
wrong.
so
Him do a protect.
he do a big protect.
Oh man, I miss cats. Cats are great.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm good now. That was freaking. Okay. Where was I?
I think we were talking about a
about
breakup.
Being alone.
Oh yeah, being alone.
Yeah, it's never been too much of an issue. I've made friends along the way, but yeah, because of my chaotic nature, not many people can usually keep up.
You don't seem that chaotic.
Says the Dragonborn.
Oro tilts head to the side. Am I chaotic?
I think if you were to compare yourself to possibly like the regular humans and whatnot, they might not understand which ways you go sometimes. They may see you as chaotic.
I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I don't necessarily act much like a Dragonborn because I don't really know how to act much like a Dragonborn. It's sort of complicated, Have you ever felt like you are supposed to act like one thing because that's what you are, but you don't know if that's really you or not?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of confusing, I guess. I suppose the whole reason I was gonna leave Die Shield was so that I could go to Dragon's Keep and meet some Dragonborn and see how they act and see if that's how I wanted to act, I guess. I don't know.
Kind of like a way to figure yourself out.
Yeah, but I don't really know how that'll work now. Plus, if I'm being honest, I really like you guys, and I'm kind of scared of going off on my own.
That is fair. It's not for everyone. But you've been doing really great so far. Especially since it's your first time.
Yeah, but I don't always think things over super well.
Ileana's
And
just kind of like putting a sleeve in front of her face because she remembered the whole pool thing.
yeah, 5 might be thinking about that too. And if you guys hadn't been there today, I might have died, which is a little bit scary to think about.
Yeah, that's fair. But perhaps, perhaps you should do a couple of little mini adventures and learn to, kind of like learn to think ahead of time. I don't know how to. It's kind of a hard thing to learn just outright. You kind of have to like trial and error. So that's usually best to do around people.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why Master Joe recommended that I join like a group first, so that I could get some practice, maybe, critical thinking on my feet.
Well, critical thinking is definitely useful for, venturing on your own eventually. So, and what was it that you wanted to do when you went back to the monastery?
Help Master Joe run the monastery.
What exactly does Master Joe do?
Run the monastery.
Those are words. What is doing? Like, what do they have to do to run it, to keep it running?
I don't know. I'm not really. I was never really good at like business stuff or math stuff, or I just know that we like help people. So I like that.
That's fair. So you like the idea of it, but you don't really know what you're getting into. You could be running into this blind.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about it. It just, the monastery took me in, and that's where I've been, and I guess that's just where I figured I would keep being.
Well, that's fair. Perhaps when you get back to Daishield, you should ask your master on what exactly they need to be done at the monastery to run it. Because I feel like you would probably want to know more about what you'd be getting into.
Yeah, oh, hey, look! Gwen tossed us a lit-up pebble. Five reaches over and grabs it, like, just line of thought completely broken. Like, ooh, shiny pebble.
There you go. That's a shiny pebble.
That's a rock. That's a boulder.
That's a nice boulder.
Okay.
There,
now
that was.
Thanks, Gwen.
Ileana's just kind of like squinting, like, yeah, thanks.
Well, anyway. I guess for now I'll just, stick to my goal of meet Dragonborns and hang out with you guys, I guess.
I think a better goal to stick yourself to, which is easier and more flexible, because life is weird, is to learn to get to know yourself better and follow whatever that means. So if it means meeting Dragonborns, then yes, by all means. But perhaps just find out what really makes you feel alive, and what makes you feel happy, and what makes you feel like you, and just kind of go with that.
What makes me feel like me? That is a good question.
It's something worth thinking about.
Yeah. Well, I'll work on that one. I don't have like a good answer right now.
You don't
Mostly
need
just,
an answer right now.
I like ice cream. I don't know if that's like a life goal.
Ileana's just kind of like, okay, think about the happiest times you've had so far in your life. What exactly was going on? And take your time. Don't rush it.
I was really happy when we left Ice Shield.
So, a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of adventure. That made you happy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, sure, it has been kind of scary sometimes, and, you know, a few... well, we've found a few problems. Like, looks towards poor Gwen and the tents. But, I mean, it's still been really fun.
What else?
I don't know.
Was there anything that, while you were at the monastery, was there anything there that made you really happy? As happy as leaving Dice Shield?
I mean, the monastery was nice. It was a really good place to live and grow up and stuff, but it was just sort of, it was just normal, you know? It was just, every day there was, you know, you'd wake up and go pray to Bahamut, and we'd clean, and then, you know, we would go help people and do some more cleaning, and then they'd be like, that's not how you hold a rag, 5. Maybe you should go outside. And then I'd go outside for a while. And then I would, you know, study, and I would read some books, and, you know, do some training. And then it would, like, be, like, lunch and dinner. And then sometimes Master Joe would have time to read to me, which was fun. And then bedtime.
That sounds very mundane.
That's a good word. That's a fancy word. Mundane.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I'm wondering if, perhaps the reason why Master Joe got you to go out and find yourself is because maybe there's a chance Master Joe thinks the monastery might not be necessarily best for you.
I mean, I'm kind of starting to wonder that too. Do you think that she's worried about me? Like, she knew that we were leaving and we're several days late.
I think she probably might be a little concerned, but I know that if she thought it was your time to leave, I don't think that she would be too overly concerned about how or when you'd be getting back necessarily. Because if Master Joe has ever done any adventuring on her own, she would know that, you know, life happens.
I think that she did. Every once in a while, she'd start to, like, talk about something that happened a long time ago, and then she'd get all, like, and be like, but you don't need to hear about me, and then change the subject.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I'm wondering if, perhaps, like, what if you were to kind of adventure and travel and help people along the way?
I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of what we're doing. And, like, 5 kind of just gestures over towards Kithri's, like, little wagon and stuff. I mean, we kind of keep helping people. We've met a lot of people on this trip.
Mm-hmm. But what if that was something that was your calling?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not against helping people that we run into on the road. Do you know what your calling is?
Not quite. I know what some of my family members' callings are, but mine is still unwritten.
5 just grabs Ileana's hand, like, holds it. Well, maybe we can find our callings together.
Ileana just kind of looks down at her hand and looks at 5, and she's like, I'd like that.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Do you really think that we should let Gwen take watch?
Yeah, it's about that time too where you gotta wake up Atala to be with her, by the way.
Yeah. Ileana's gonna be like, yeah. But, I only need, 3 or 4 hours to sleep, so worst case scenario, I can always just, once I wake up, I could just kind of hang out and not really keep watch, but, keep my ears open.
Okay. Well, I mean, don't make yourself tired, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Atala will be awake with her. I just feel bad for her.
No, I won't be tired. I just, literally 4 or 5 hours, or 3 or 4 hours, and I'm good. That's all I need, so.
That's so cool. Alright, well, I'll go wake up Atala. Really close to Atala's face. Atala!
Huh? She kind of jerks her head back and looks at you kind of really scared for a second, then she's like, Oh, 5. Oh, it must be my turn, isn't it?
Yeah. Is Grigor okay?
Actually, I'm not sure about where he is. He will be okay, but if we want to know a little bit more, how about we do this? I'm gonna try something here. I think I can detect where his poisons are. 1 second. Oh, I just exited her sheet.
Just
Classic.
a second. Let me close all my stuff.
I was just looking at it too. I was like, yeah, while she's up, she's gonna dump these spells because it'll be pretty chill. And then we'll go to who was that? Who was third? Was it Globuk?
Yeah, Globuk
Yeah.
and Kithri.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Atala gets up and she kind of casts this on Grigor and she says, "Oh yes, it seems that the poison is starting to release from his body. The worms have already been destroyed and now his body's just processing the leftovers. Let's go see how Gwen's doing here. Hi Gwen, I know I'm not gonna ask you too many questions. I know you're kind of hurting right now, but I'm just gonna cast this little spell on you to see how you're doing." And she casts the spell on you as well. Grabs out a yew leaf because she has all of her herbs and stuff, and she concentrates for a little while. And yeah, she looks at you and she says, "Oh, it seems you are actually getting much better, Gwen. The worms are already dead now. They've stopped moving around, and it seems your body just has to process the last of the poison." She kind of is petting you on the hair comfortably.
Good. Yeah, you don't have to worry about me. Okay. Thanks.
All right. Well, it's going to be just us, I believe. Or Ileana, are you going to stay up with us while 5 is in bed? Ileana?
Yeah, I heard 5 for some reason. I'm like, come on, 5? No, it was me. Oh, what did I miss?
Sorry, Atala said, Ileana, are you going to join 5 in bed, or will you stay up with us?
I'm gonna go to sleep for a bit, and then, I might keep an ear out afterwards.
All right, sounds good. I'll stay up with Gwen then, and I'll keep an eye out.
Sounds good.
All right, Gwen. You see Ileana and the rest of them go to bed. It gets a little quieter out here. It's just you and Atala. She's sitting with you kind of on the other side of the tree, just next to you. And she's pulled out her own blanket. And you can go ahead and roll me another perception. It'll be a disadvantage again because you're with the exhaustion. So 14. Interesting. So only Atala really is able to see, but at one point, a small little squirrel-looking animal comes, and they try and get into the tent over here to get into the Five's backpack and Ilyana's backpack to try and eat some stuff. But Atala, seeing it just out of the corner of her eyes, is able to snap it back and grab it right out of the air and toss it away. And she's like, "Oh, this thing thought it could get away with stealing from us, but luckily I'm here." And you almost saw it, didn't you, Gwen? I thought you could hear it as well.
Oh, is that what that was? Yeah, I just thought it was more random squirrels.
Yes, it seems that way. All right, well, it looks like our watch is almost up here. I'll go get Globuk for the next one. She kind of sticks her head in to the carriage where Beryl and Globuk are sleeping, and she's like, Globuk, it's your turn for watch now.
Oh, okay, thank you. I get up.
Keep an eye on the squirrels. They've been trying to get into our stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes, they seem to be attracted to the tent mostly.
I sit by fire. I keep eye on tent.
Okay, thank you. And keep an eye on Gwen, too. Keep her company.
Hey, Gwen. Feeling any better?
The vomiting was moved from every half hour to every 45 minutes, so that's an improvement.
That's good. That's good. I still feel very bad about that.
Oh, you couldn't have known that would happen. It's not your fault. You're an excellent chef.
Maybe.
Were you gonna get Kithri to join you, or are you just gonna?
Oh, yeah, I guess I could go wake her up, huh?
Well, before we do that, I think Kithri had last watch, right?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
this was
wait.
last watch.
No, there's still one more. There's technically 4 watches. So
Okay.
we did 2 hours with 5, 2 hours with Atala. We're going to do 2 hours with Globuk, and then 2 hours with Kithri. And then Ilyana will be up with Kithri because her 4-hour meditation in the middle during Atala's and Globuk's 2-hour watches will be complete. And so she'll be awakening at that time. But for now, I need a disadvantage perception, pardon me, and from both of you. A regular one from Globuk and a disadvantage from Gwen. Oh, shakalaka boom boom. All right, well, as the night kind of closes in around you guys, and it gets to kind of the coldest part of night, and the deepest part of night, it's like 4 in the morning. You know, the witching hour, as we like to call it. Globuk, you start to hear in the winds some weird sounds. It sounds like the wind is blowing around you guys, but it keeps changing directions in a circular pattern, kind of centered around your campfire and where you are. And the winds, they keep going over the cliffs, and then they keep moving around, and you can see the leaves in the air kind of being tossed around in a little way. The grass bends in different patterns that shows you that there's this sort of circular inward motion moving around you guys. And Globuk, you start to get a little bit of a weird feeling, but you're not exactly sure what it is as you look around. Gwen, you can kind of see it as well, but at that point, that's mostly all you guys can see. And as this continued swirling happens, there appears some blue lights behind some trees, but you guys are all kind of looking in the wrong directions. And these blue lights start to coalesce into the form once again of the shadow figure that you saw, the headless shadowy figure. At this point though, it seems to take on more of a light figure. It's blue light, and it's shining. And for a moment, as you guys are both looking the wrong way, it corporealizes. It becomes real in a sort of ethereal sense, on the edge of reality and ghosthood, and it summons 2 more behind you. And as that's happening, you guys are kind of looking at these phenomena in the trees of the wind blowing around you. You're not really like looking where it's happening behind you. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up right now.
Globuk, are you cursed?
Starting to think so.
Today
Yeah, me
we might
too.
find
I'm
out.
starting to think.
And because both of you do not have the perception at this time to properly clock what's going on beyond this little light of the pebble, the very little light that's being given off by the fire, they will be getting a round of opportunity attacks. Now, there's only 2 of you, and they're going to be doing something very special. So the third one is kind of redundant because you can't stack them. However, we are going to try and possess you as these things come from the shadows, and you see just at the last moment, Globuk, you look over your shoulder, Gwen, you too, as there seems to be a sort of culmination of the wind behind them, and it all comes together, and you see them enter the light over here. You would clock them a little bit beyond that too with your dark vision, and their blue glowing ethereal forms start to charge towards you. And I will go ahead and show you what you're going to be hit with now. And at this point, we can all roll initiative because the culmination of all that wind and stuff seems to be, very loud, and it's waking everyone up. And then when they start their charge, there's a sort of horrible ghostly scream. And it wakes everybody up. And yeah, we'll go from there. So, at this point, we go with our possession. I guess I don't have to click it twice, because you just go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw, and if not, you will lose a little bit of control of your body. So, that will be for Gwen. Actually, I'm going to hit somebody else too with it, because the other ghost is going to get one of you while you're sleeping, so that makes sense. Alright, and to roll it, we'll go from the top down, left to right is how I do it. Fuck off, Gwen. But sorry, Globuk, you are now possessed by one. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. We already attacked Globuk. 4, 5, 6. 4 is Ilyana. Ilyana, you will also have to give me a charisma saving throw, as one of the ghosts runs all the way through the camp and ends up right beside you, and then attempts to possess your body.
Wow, good job, guys.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Holy, and what a fucking weird RP thing. Okay, so other people have now been not possessed, but Globuk, congratulations, you've been possessed. As this happens, you feel and it's so appropriate, you feel the ghost enter your body, actually. It's a very cold sensation as it pumps through your veins, and you gain a feeling of the essence of its spirit, touching your spirit, communing with your spirit. And as that happens, you are sucked out of the sort of real reality that you normally know, and you can feel your soul being dispossessed within your body, and also entering a soul space, a place in between life and death that this ghost also operates in. This soul space that you operate in, you can feel that there's something happening beyond you. The landscape starts to change to a very blue, luminescent kind of landscape where the trees are kind of glowing, and much beyond 120 feet you can't see anything. It's sort of a hallucinatory landscape, and luckily you are here. You hear your owlbear, Forge. You know his call because you've communed with him before. The others in your group, if they were here, they probably wouldn't understand what's going on, but this owlbear starts to barrel down upon you. And as his loud screeches become louder and louder and more intense, you can feel around you time slow. And even though you aren't in control of your body during this possession, you are able to still experience things. You can see the different types of ghosts around you being possessed. You can witness Gwen push off the possession from this undead creature. You still are able to see around you and hear around you, but as you're in the possession, you feel that Forge is now slowing down time, and he comes to you, and I'm going to give you the token right away here. was kind of hoping a few other people would get to see Forge, but it's just you and him. You're having a one-on-one today. Alright, Forge is right in front of you, and he comes to you, Globuk, and he speaks to you. He says, Globuk, you are not meant to be here. What has happened?
This crazy blue thing attack. Don't know what's happening.
Let me feel you. And he puts a big heavy bear paw on your shoulder, and as he's doing that, you can feel his soul enter your body as well, and you can feel all three of these ghostly souls kind of merging with you. And as he does that, he's like, you've been possessed. You are not meant to be here. And then he's looking at you, and he says, I can feel a connection with you in this soul. We can explore it if you wish. It would be dangerous, but you might get the answers you're seeking. I do not know why you've been attacked by this ghost. It's not very normal. It's actually quite rare. But if you want us to explore it, we can now. We have the only time is now because you are connected. Do you understand?
I think so.
Okay, you have to understand though that this could be treacherous. You could receive some sort of pain from this, and you will have to probably try with all your might to continue to fight down the vision. You will be fighting the soul to see what's going on with it every step of the way, but at any point, if you wish, you can let me know and we can leave the vision together.
Yes, let's do it. It's worth it.
All right. Here, let us first locate the memory of this place to see why it has come towards you at this location. So first things first, we're going to get you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. Nice. You clearly can feel that as you and your Forge push back against the ethereal ghost inside of your body, you get a hold of this soul, and you can feel like you can control it now, and the tendrils of this control dive deeper into its consciousness, and you're able to sift through its memories. And as you get through the memories, you can feel memories that are located to this place. The trees are much smaller, much smaller. Some of them don't even exist, and trees that used to exist are no longer there. And even a lot of the rocks haven't fallen down. There's boulders there that are now, that used to be parts of the cliff that have come down. But you know this place specifically, and you know that this is the place that it's tied to. And you can hear Forge in the back of your head saying, yes, we've got it. We've got the memory. We've got the location. Push deeper, Globuk. I need you to roll me another Constitution saving throw. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Still no pain as you push deeper. You can feel the essence of the ghost fighting back against you. There's a psychic energy that seems to be a tension or a pressure, but your psychic pressure is pushing deeper and deeper into it. It's not only just the psychic energy, but you feel like your body is going through this as well. Your body is definitely tied to this experience as you're pushing deeper and deeper in. You see the three ghosts in front of you, but they're no longer ghosts. They have their heads back, and you can tell that they're dressed in an old type of empire clothing, and they're riding their horses into this area. And as they're doing it, they kind of say, all right, we need to go north from here, and then we'll find the cave where we need to set down for the night. And as they're doing that, they push off and run away, and you need to keep up with them as they do that. So you need to roll me another Constitution saving throw as they start to run away, and Forge is yelling after you, follow them, Globuk, follow them. Ooh, you take your first fail. Alright, you take 6 psychic damage as you're pushing forward. You can see their light glowing off in the distance. They're full corporeal bodies now with their heads and everything attached, pushing northward as they go. At this point, Forge also feels the amount of damage you've taken, the pressure and the pain, and he says, oh, you can keep going, Globuk, but you might get hurt. You need to keep pushing forward. Or if you want, you can let me know now and we can leave. What do you think?
Keep going.
All right, as you push forward, and you can see that this trio of headless or head-full horsemen now push onward, you grit your teeth, push down, and roll me another con save. Another fail.
I love the not yet headless.
Yeah, exactly. This time you take 16 psychic damage. However, Forge, as you get hit by that, he kind of picks you up with his beak and tosses you on his back, and you're kind of like riding him now. And he says, I know that one hurt, Globuk, I know it hurt, but if you want to continue, I can tell that the last one is at the end. We're nearly there. If you push forward, you might fall unconscious, but you might also figure out this mystery. Do you want to continue pushing onward?
Let's keep going.
All right, last one. Roll me one last con save with advantage.
Yes!
Okay, nice. You didn't even need advantage. Holy. All right, you arrive there, this time not taking any damage, feeling very, like, bolstered by the fact that you have your owl bear underneath you. You can feel the kind of feathers and fur mixed in with his, like, back neck area that you're grabbing on, and you can get a lot of extra energy from him. And you push on, gritting your teeth, like you said before, and you end up at the cave where they have said they were going to arrive and put down for the night. And Forge kind of tells you to just sit back, Globuk. We need to just watch for now. And the three of them, they start to set up a camp in the cave. But quickly, they start to hear a crick or a crack in the forest around them. And they stop like wild animals, just frozen. And they look towards each other, and they start making different hand signals. And they're kind of like giving each other nods. And quickly, all three of them pull out different weapons. However, at that same moment, different arrows and hand axes fly through the air, and there's a flurry, a quick battle, and you see that there's different orcs coming towards them, assailing them from all different directions, from on top of the cave, jumping down from the cliffs, and from the different areas of the trees in a 360 direction, shooting at them with arrows and with different hand axes, and they quickly are upon them all, and they quickly make work of them, slaying them all, and then eventually cutting off their heads and taking their bodies into the cave. And as this happens, you can feel kind of the connection to the one who you were connected to. As they get struck with arrows, you feel the impacts of the arrows, and you feel the impacts of the swords. The pain is there, but it doesn't really register with your body. It's more of like a psychological pain, because you're experiencing this through their memories. Eventually, the three bodies are looted, and they're left in the cave. And one of the larger orcs looks up towards the rest of them and tells them to bring down a large boulder. And they spend some time there, about an hour, 2 hours, chipping away at this large boulder. And they move it into, like, there's like 10 of them, moving it all of them kind of wedging it with javelins and stuff, moving this giant boulder in front of the cave where they've been waiting for these people. Globuk, you see one of the people in the crowd, and Forge kind of nods over in the direction of one of them. It's a orcish female who looks very much like your mother. And for a moment, you almost think it is your mother. You're really like tossed up about it for a second, because it doesn't make any sense why she would be in this vision at all, because it's so old, and you know it's old. It's you know, trees have come and gone. You know, it's hundreds of years old. But there's something about that female, and as you look closer, and Forge looks closer, he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "There, Globuk. That's one of your ancestors. I'm not sure who she is, but I can feel the connection between your souls. I can see it. I'm not sure why this has happened to you, but I do know that it has something to do with this connection in this incident. I'm sorry that you had to find out this way, but I think we should go now." And you can feel a sort of static energy as the connection to the living creature who gave you this memory has died out now. And that's sort of like the natural tapering of the end of the memory, is the natural death that this creature goes through. And you're forced out of the vision, and you're left back now at the battlefield. And Forge is with you. You can see him, and he's like, "All right, Globuk, I have no more energy to keep this going, but I'm glad I could help you. I have to release you now. You will be fighting alone with the ghost inside of you, but I'll be there watching over you."
Thank you, Forge. This was all very interesting, and I thank you so much for everything.
And you can feel him ride off into the distance, and as the sound tapers off of his hoots and hollers, the air around you starts to pick up with energy again, slowly becoming alive with the return to time as a normal flow. And as you see him crest over the horizon, you realize you're still possessed by this creature. And you look around you and you noticed that Gwen and Ilyana were able to stop themselves from being possessed. And you feel a little bit of relief from that. But at this point, I think we should take a little break because that was kind of a big thing, and I need to roll some initiatives, and then we can come back for the actual combat. And we'll get into it after that.
Cool.
Sounds good. Also, your mic was starting to cut out.
Oh, so, okay, that's good to know, actually. How bad is it for everyone when it cuts out? Let me know.
It's been worse.
Yeah, I think it was pretty alright.
Okay, one sec.
Just a little bit.
Just a little, yeah.